What do you mean
Don't leave.
Women
Women leave 70% of the time. If they're college educated, they leave 90% of the time.
Correct.
Women ruin relationships and they ruin families.
Women
so
leave.
Women typically do it.
Actually,
and so if a guy,
if a man-
ask the majority of men, their first choice is not a baby mother.
Mama.
Just like our first choice typically is not a short, broke guy.
That's right.
It's the same
right.
thing. It's the same thing. Now, will we put up with a guy that's shorter if he's good looking? Sure. Will a guy put up with a single mother if she has some other things that she brings to the table? Maybe she's attractive. Maybe she has other stuff. Maybe she's submissive. Whatever it is that he values. Yeah, but it's most men. It is not their first choice.
Okay.
I think family court is biased against men. In my experience of handling these cases all over New York State for plus 20 years, what I've seen is they don't usually get a break with child support. When it comes to custody and visitation, if they want to prove they're the best dad in the world, they need to really prove it. And with spousal support, a lot of times, if the wife is the moneyed spouse making a boatload more money, the judges will tell you, I don't care, I'm not giving him spousal support. Yet if the roles were reversed, it would be exactly the opposite. Just not fair. There's nothing in the law to say that anything is gender specific. It should be an equal playing field. It's getting better. It's better than it used to be 20 years ago, but it's still biased.
Look around you, and you will see couples falling apart, getting divorced and separated. Have you wondered why that is so? Throughout history, men have held the responsibility to protect, provide, and persevere. They were responsible for the protection of their tribe and family, their women and children, and their lands. They were responsible for providing for their families. This included food and water, clothes, and a roof over their heads. Throughout all of this, men were to persevere and fight off enemies, dangerous predatory animals, disease, and whatnot. Their women knew their role was to care for the children and maintain a comfortable home for their men to have a happy and comfortable life. We can see throughout history that whenever men and women have adhered to the roles prescribed to them by nature, they have lived good lives without disruption of peace from infighting or problems with the opposite gender in marriage. Today, all of that has changed. Not only are men, and especially women, not aligned with their own natural purpose, but they are also being spoon-fed a woke anti-male narrative that creates hate for men and eventually takes over men's responsibilities in society. On top of that, the entire legal system is designed to work against men and not consider their input in society, or the fact that women can use a jaded legal system to advance their own interests. Due to the serious legal ramifications of marriage in the present day, many men find it impossible to even consider getting married. The ones that do make the biggest mistake of not knowing about it. So, the biggest mistake men make in marriage is not understanding how the system is rigged against them. So, men have realized that the game is rigged against them. With marriage, men are taking a huge risk, which includes losing their life savings, their house, their cars, their income, and their self-esteem. And the legal system is crafted in such a way that women are given the benefit at every corner and from every angle, while men are assumed to be the perpetrators of disharmony in the relationship, and hence, they are required to compensate for it by financing women for the rest of their lives. Conclusively, in order to avoid making the mistake of getting into a marriage with the wrong woman who doesn't share the same values or wants to use the legal system as a threat against men, men must not at any cost marry someone capable of using the system against them. And how do they make sure don't? Well, they need to raise the bar of the type of women they want a relationship with, and not sign a marriage contract just because they're attracted to someone. The way women expect men to be perfect, it's time men demand the same from women. Men now face very high risk and little reward from marriage as a result of how family law has developed and changed over time. That is one of the main problems men have with marriage, and the reason why more and more men are avoiding it. Family law has really advanced to the point where it is very high risk, but a poor return for men, and low risk, but a great reward for women, particularly if they want to leave it. In fact, 80% of divorces are initially started by women. This was something stated by Jordan Peterson in a recent video I came across. The surprising bit is that quite a bit of those divorces is pre-planned for financial reasons. We all understand that even half of the divorce is pretty much the end of it all. As a result, if you find yourself in a married situation, and it doesn't even have to be marriage, the state will recognize that as a common law marriage, even if you live together for a sufficient amount of time like in many Western countries. They will also regard your breakup as a marriage since, by law, they treat it as a marriage. It then includes child custody arrangements and marital assets that are intended to benefit women. This brings up another problem that males have. Why should a guy get married when they see so many other men lose their parental rights to women who don't care about the children? They just end up losing a major chunk of their paycheck, sending money to their ex-wife, and then seeing how severely their relationship with their children deteriorates. For a good reason, such women are referred to as divorce machines. I'm not sure whether there is a solution or a method to get around the fact that men are purposefully avoiding marriage. As several guys have often asked me, how can you satisfy the biological want to pass on your seed? By nature, men are designed to scatter their seed, while women are designed to basically seek the highest value men whom they can intertwine with, raise children, utilize their resources, and manage their resources for the good of family and community. Although there are two distinct dynamics, the status of family law is so dismal that it is just not sane from any point of view for a man to live in a situation that the state considers to be a married arrangement. Why would you put yourself in a position where the state might decide what happens to your assets, monthly income, and parental access? In addition, family law is constructed in a way that disincentives women from acting fairly or in the children's best interests. Family law works against men. This is also part of the problem. Family law is intended to maximize women's hypergamous nature. They are always seeking upgrades to where they are at. I'm aware that some women may point out that their divorces didn't go that way and that they had to pay the man. Yes, that can also happen at times, especially when the case is too obvious for the whole world to see when a woman is trying to take all of his resources, even when the guy had practically done nothing wrong to her, not cheated on her, not abused her, not given her love, care, and attention. So, when this sort of case occurs, the judges sometimes rule in the guy's favor, although that's a one-off instance. However, because of the nature of the intimacy market and how men and women connect, guys frequently find themselves in situations where they meet attractive women who end up marrying them, meaning that when they get married, the guys are a few points higher than them. However, when the divorce occurs, she wants to maintain her position, and hence retaliates through the divorce, and as a result, ends up with his finances and assets. In the end, it comes down to the fact that males struggle to satisfy their biological urges, and women are doing nothing to change it. I saw this with a sense of obligation because women also feel entitled to men's resources, and men don't complain about that. They try to live up to that expectation. However, for women, what a man wants just doesn't matter. As an example, the indigenous couldn't accomplish much with their spears and wooden arrows when the white European settlers arrived in North America and began to use their cannons and rifles against them. They were at a disadvantage. That's the situation men face in marriage. The whole legal system is designed to fire missiles at them, while they're only given sticks to defend themselves. Women have a distinct upper hand in the intimacy marketplace, and the only way things will get better is if the guys are also given incentives. In order to address this issue, men must be offered incentives during this process if we want things to get better, and for men to not avoid marriage in our society. The attitudes of women, hypergamy, and family law are core reasons why marriages are failing, and the reason why modern women can never be happy. They will always want something else, and something better. That unexplained feeling that they can do better is what's going to end up pushing them to make bad choices, which they end up regret for the rest of their lives. Until and unless this changes, the concept of marriage is fast headed to a dead end. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.